going to Chinatown today. Well, I am. This lady's staying home with my roommates. Just a quick note before I get into the actual video. I had this video ready for like about a week, but I didn't feel like posting it because of what's happening in Ukraine, and I was really devastated and not in the mood of posting anything. Ukraine has a very special place in my heart. Kiev, its capital, that's getting bombed right now, was the very first city where I traveled solo. It was 2014. The country was fighting then, and it's fighting right now, but in much more serious war. The other factor is that Georgia, my country, is also occupied by Russia, and in 2008 when I lived in Georgia, there was a war going on in my country, so it brings out a lot of tragic, dramatic, very emotional memories, and I don't know, I've been feeling very devastating these couple days. Hopefully the war will end soon and Ukrainian people will get to live peacefully. If you're watching this video from 2075 where there's no Vladimir Putin, then you're probably a luckier person than we all are. Anyway, let's go to Chinatown. The first destination we're going to is a museum of Chinese in America. Never been there, this is gonna be my first time. What is this? Who's killing Chinatown? I came to the museum, turns out it's closed on Wednesdays, but there's a little protest going on right there. I don't know if you can see. So it turns out they want to build a jail, demolish a building right there and build a jail, and these people are protesting. They're against it, and they're against the politics of the museum as well. How do you think the jail would affect the community?
So they're going to demolish the existing building, and then they're going to do construction, so it's going to be like 7 years. A lot of people in Chinatown are old and they have like respiratory conditions because of 9/11. All the dust and the pollutants and like the plastics in the air, people were breathing that. The government didn't tell them that they were at risk. So a bunch of people were just like going about their lives, breathing in this toxic air and developing really, really bad conditions, and a lot of them died. So you're going to have like a 7 years of massive construction project. But also beyond that, it's like, why are we building a jail?
Well, I couldn't go to the museum, but I did some reading yesterday, and I read that the reason why Chinese people started to come to the United States was a gold mine in California. They would cross the ocean to start working in the gold mines, and also there was some kind of civil war going on by the time in China, and people wanted to escape that. In California, people were mostly white and they did not accept Chinese people, so culturally it was very difficult for them, and then that's why they started moving to New York, where the culture was pretty diverse and people were from all over the world. Like I said in the previous video, like 80 people out of 100 who crossed the Atlantic Ocean were coming to New York, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, this is the biggest Chinatown in the entire United States, and I think in North America as well. It's really weird vlogging in New York, because in Mexico, in the streets, nobody really understood what I was talking about because they didn't speak much English. And here, every single person understands what the hell I'm talking about. So, I don't know, it's uncomfortable, kind of embarrassing. Classic story of a child wanting something and the parent explaining that unfortunately she can't have it. By early 90s, I think 98% of people living in Chinatown were men, and all those 2% of women were married. They would not let single Asian women in the country for some stupid reasons. When people started moving to Chinatown, almost all of the buildings were already built, and then Chinese people started to decorate them and modify them somehow and make it more like, you know, Asian. I'm gonna show you the very first authentic Chinese building that was built here in Chinatown. It's supposed to be this building. It's a video collage time, and I want to show you these rare, weird things from Chinatown Marketplace. Mostly fish. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm gonna try to find some food now. Hi, can I sit outside?
Outside, yes.
There's one. Can I have the sticky rice in lotus leaf, please? And vegetarian sesame beef. So before Chinese settled down here, Germans freed slaves and Irish people used to live in this neighborhood, and then Chinese people alongside with Eastern Europeans and Jews started to come here, and this area became more and more like a Chinese neighborhood, aka Chinatown. And then for some reason Americans were not really happy about that, and life became really difficult for Chinese people in America after the enactment of the Chinese Exclusion Act. During that period of time, they were limited to have kids. If you were an American woman holding an American passport, and if you married a Chinese guy, you would lose the citizenship. That's how crazy it was. And then obviously they dropped the act, and that's not the case anymore, luckily. Thank you so much. Food. I'm done eating, I'm full and happy. I'm gonna go to this Buddhist temple that I wanted to check out. It's always there, I always wanted to walk in, but I never ended up checking it out, so today's the day. Perfect spot for a meditation. I'm just gonna sit down and meditate. don't know why they leave this pastry and coffee here. If anybody's familiar with the Buddhist traditions, please let me know. It's wonderful how peaceful and quiet and empty it is here. And the moment I step out, it's gonna be chaotic. I'm not sure if you can tell by the video, but this park has a very strong community feelings and vibes, and I love that. It's mostly old people just playing some kind of games that I have no idea. Hi. Okay, yeah, this is embarrassing. Everybody's looking at me. I'm going to walk on Manhattan Bridge now to look at all these beautiful streets from above and take some videos. When I first came to New York City, my cousin took me to Chinatown. I just loved the neighborhood so much that I think it became my favorite place to stroll around. You know, sometimes, most of the time, I don't like living in New York, and sometimes I hate it. I hate how inorganic, loud, chaotic, and disorganized the city is. I like to live slow, and New York would not let me, or anybody, to live slow. You either keep up with the speed or you just leave. But then there are days like this, days when I take a 30-minute train ride and end up in a completely different world where people speak another language, eat another food, and live a very different lifestyle than people 3 blocks away from them. This is definitely a reason to admire New York City. Where can you find this much diversity? And I guess you cannot have it all, right? The city can't be the most exciting and the most calming place in the world. That just wouldn't make any sense. I thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you are all safe and sound. Take care. Bye-bye.